Hey guys, Shermesh here, and I'm going to bring you guys a little build guide of sorts for the Luck and XP Tome. I'm sure a lot of you have seen people use this online or post their clips, and they always seem to have these two tomes together. Well, there's a pretty simple reason for that, and that's because these are probably the best ones to combine if you want a super overpowered run. Again, not to say that this is the end all be all and that you have to use these two in order to have the best run possible. You can use a multitude of combinations. Nothing is perfect, nothing is the best, but it's just what you see online is usually these two right here. Now, the way this basically works, I want to say it's a balancing act for the most part. Because in the early game, as you can imagine, only having the Luck Tome and XP Tome is going to be pretty difficult, right? You can try to add in some damage or maybe some crit chance to the weapons, but it's still going to be pretty difficult. And the reason why it's going to be so difficult is because you're not going to have a lot of damage. You're not going to have a lot of attack speed. It's going to be difficult getting rid of those monsters, and you're going to want to kill more monsters. So you're going to probably activate greed shrines. Maybe you'll pick up a curse tome, whatever it may be. It's going to be a lot more difficult to get any of that off in the game, because you're doing this balancing act, like I said at the start, of upgrading luck and upgrading XP. Now, the way this works is by just simply upgrading luck and then upgrading XP. I know I'm saying that a lot, but let me go further in depth with it. See, you upgrade luck more and more so that you get better upgrades throughout, because you could get better upgrades in shrines, leveling up, items. And aside from that, the higher tier offers from leveling up, shrines, and anything else is just amazing. Like, you get legendary items most times out of like 10 whenever you try to get something from the chest. I'm not saying you're always going to get it, but the chance of you getting a legendary just increase monumentally when you get that luck tome and you upgrade it fully, or as much as you can. And then when you upgrade this as much as you can and combine it with the XP, chances are you're going to get like rare, epic, or even legendary upgrades for the XP tome. You get that, you get even more XP, you get to level up more, which means you can level up your luck tome more. And if you want to upgrade something else, you could upgrade your damage tome even more. You could upgrade your precision tome even more. And like I said, you're going to get rare, epic, and legendary upgrades because of this luck tome. And if you don't, you can always skip, or you could always just refresh. So you have those options available to you, and you're probably going to use them all up, because this is the type of run that you'll have that'll be like, you're going to get a new record. If you get it off successfully, you're going to get a new record for everything, and you're going to do extremely well. Now, the weapons that I would recommend for this build is really any. You can use anything at all that you want. Of course, there's some meta weapons like the banana, but really have your way with it. In the game that I have in the background, I'm using blood magic and a katana and some other stuff, right? Like, you could definitely do it better than I did, but I just went with that because it's what I thought was cool and what I enjoyed. So yeah, just use any weapon you want, have fun with the game. You're already gonna have like an overpowered build with this setup either way, especially if you get damage or crit chance stacked on top of that. I'd say the same thing with the characters. You can use any character you want at all. This isn't something like, or with the quantity and attack speed build, I was like, yeah, don't use Noel, don't use Mega Chat. I wouldn't recommend it that much. However, this one is literally like, you could use anyone you want. I don't think there's a problem with it at all. I will say though, if you go with this build and you want to, let's say, get a crit chance, damage, and then luck and XP, I'd recommend someone like the Bandit, because he gets 1+% attack speed per level. So it's good to stack it that way, because you get to level 300, you have 300% more attack speed. You could try to go with Spaceman and then get that 1.5 XP on top of the normal XP you already get. Or you could go with Fox and get even more luck per level and have better chances of pulling out the best stuff early in the game. It's really up to you, but there's some characters you could definitely optimize and have way better runs with. It's just entirely up to you. Now let's move on to the item section. And really, with the items, you can't go wrong with most of them. You're still going to want some disabled. Not saying the ones that I have disabled right now are the ones I'd recommend, but Something like the clover would be a good pickup. Echo shards get more XP, so then you get even more with the XP tome. It helps snowball it all. But really the main thing is going to be just making sure you have the proper rare and legendary items enabled or disabled. Same with the blues, because if you keep increasing that luck stat, chances are you're going to get more legendaries, more rares, more epics, whatever, right? So you're going to want to be careful and make sure you don't have something that might be terrible for your run. So if I have a run where I'm just focusing on damage, don't care about health, maybe I don't want the holy book. If I don't want to waste a slot on sucky magnet because I don't care about the XP, I'll just like pick it up my own way, I guess. I don't know. Then you want that disabled. But it's entirely up to you. Just read what each one does. Make sure you have it. Still don't have this one. Gonna get it eventually. Probably today. But yeah, it's just a matter of what you're okay with having and not having. Not like you could disable everything. It's only the stuff that you unlocked, but still, maybe you don't want to go for a poison build at all. You get rid of gas mask and so on and so forth. Entirely up to you and the way you're going to head into the game. So if you have a specific way of playing in mind and you have a general idea of what you want and what you don't want, go ahead and disable or enable whatever you think would work best. But yeah, that's it for the video. If you guys have any ideas or improvements or anything at all, please leave it down in the comments below. Again, share your builds, share what works best for everyone else. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.